Hello, welcome to the Gamers. Today we are discussing everything that we know so far about Final Fantasy 15.
We most certainly will be doing.
Okay, so let's start by saying that next year, March 20th, Final Fantasy Type 0 is being released. And with that, you get the demo for Final Fantasy 15. And it's meant to be, I think, about 3-4 hours long.
Okay.
And they said that what you see in the demo is called episode... Help me with this, Simon. DUSCAE. Duscae? Something like that.
It's called, I'll pronounce it Hammer because other letters make no sense to me. But yeah, I mean, Duscae is probably fair enough.
But what they said is that is going to be 1/10 the size of the map in the actual game. So that's good news. That's what I like to hear. And
I mean, I would like our games large.
we sure do.
We sure do.
Okay. And now, apart from that, where are we going to start? We're going to start the storyline and the combat.
I
We need
think
to break this down.
we should start off with some story. I think that's where most people are probably going to get some enjoyment from the game.
Okay.
So maybe give us a rundown, if you can, if you're up to it.
So we've got notes. Sam's got notes, but I've been trying to get this all into my mind.
I think, Aiden, go for the character, or go for the character that we know.
Right, so the main character is Noctis. Is Noctis here? No, that's his car.
That's
Noctis.
his sweet ride.
There's Noctis.
That's his whip.
Yo. Whip.
yeah, boy.
Okay, so Noctis is a prince, and he is the prince of the
Legenda.
Kingdom. I don't know what it's actually called. It might be like Niflheim. I can't remember what it's called.
Yes, that's the one thing I can't remember.
But it's a mafia-like royal family, and basically they have the last crystal.
The last crystal.
That obviously other empires want. So that's the whole thing, and that's why Noctis, I think, has to run away from where they live.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was on the first trailer you see some kind of attack going down on their city.
Yes, and him trying to escape with his companions.
Yes.
So you've got Noctis, Ignis.
Yep.
Ignis is the one with the glasses.
Yeah.
Gladiolus, who's the big.
Who I'm sure that's also another word for nipple. Areolus. That's sorry. Yes, so Gladiolus.
Random factio and it's either I think it's Prompto.
Yeah.
Prompto, so the one with the blonde hair who looks like more feminine type one.
Yeah. Probably there'll be a twist in the game and it'll turn out to be a girl.
So that's the ones you travel around with.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that has now been confirmed is you cannot switch between characters.
No.
It's only Noctis you can play as. You can link up, which we will kind of go with later in the combat. And then the other characters that we know so far by name is Stella's the girl who you see. And then the game, they said that the main storyline lasts for about 40 hours.
Yeah, which is reasonably short.
Yeah, fairly short, but
to be honest.
to be fair, I just want... If something's got extra stuff, that's all I care about.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get onto the size of the game in a minute when we talk about gameplay.
And the world.
But yeah, 40 hours technically for story is quite short, but if it can be stretched out with side quests, submissions, and so on, we shall see.
And when they said that everywhere you see on the map, similar to Xenoblade, is everywhere you can see you can travel to.
Yeah.
And we found out that the things you can travel by are car,
Yes.
chocobos are returning,
Yeah.
and airships.
Come around my crazy chocobo.
I hate that song so much.
that was such a terrible song. If you even know what we're talking about.
That rock song
well
from 13-2, oh man. Okay, well that's kind of like story.
I think story's that. So go for that gameplay and tell them.
Okay, so the actual combat system is called the Active Cross Battle System.
Let me just check. He is right.
Yeah, or AXB. So
A star.
Yay, didn't get any GCSEs, but I got them now.
You failed it, right?
AXB, so similar to ATB in the Final Fantasy 13 series. What else can we say about the combat? Yes, we mentioned it earlier that you can do chain and link things with your partners, and then they said that these evolve and grow better over time.
Oh no, I'm blocking up the earlier.
Stop blocking it, Simon. And now there's a big thing about holding down button. So if you hold down the attack button, you'll get a small combo. You can do that simple, but then people are like, oh, so all you do is hold down the button to attack. It's not so simple as that. And as well with blocking, that if you hold down the button indefinitely, it costs MP to block.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like a definite
so
thing.
It's not free.
No, and also they said that obviously certain opponents break your guard.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Bosses, for instance.
Yeah. So the block, there's like a block and evade button. That's like one button. Then there's also parries and technical blocks. I was like, parries. I like games with parries.
You do.
Don't get twisted, yo. I like games with parries, and they said that they're going to be more obviously technical to pull off.
Yeah.
And then you can also vary the combos by pressing different buttons or using different directions or the timing of it or what weapons you've got. Or
that also changed. Or who you're linked with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can still jump. And there's jumping in it. So yeah, that's kind of combat, I guess, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
They said that it's what they wanted is something that's simple because obviously it being a named Final Fantasy, they wanted it to be accessible to everyone.
But still have, if you want to take it to the next level, there's still some way you can take it to, for extra combat. Difficulty. I think that probably leads on quite nicely to the world in which they live in, because
the world looks so amazing.
Because the way in which you get into fights, linking from fighting, we obviously run around the map, and instead of having obviously like traditional Final Fantasies, you'll have a nice screen warp or dissolve or fade, and obviously you'll get into some kind of fight system. In 15, you can run away from things. You will see them live on the map, and you can evade them just by running away.
And that reminds me because it's got a night and day system.
Yeah.
And the producer director was saying that at night, with most games like this, at night there's more vicious enemies.
Yeah.
And so you've got to be really careful.
They tried to implement that in 13 in Lightning Returns.
Yeah.
Because that was something they talked about. What was it, the world system that they kept saying? Yeah, but world driven. The whole thing was world driven, but I think this one will be a bit more world driven.
Well, the thing was with Lightning Returns, they were just trying to get a few more sales on the last of the engine that they paid so much for to create the engine. Whereas this is like
get use out of the characters.
They want to win back the fans.
Yeah. I think we should just say that they changed the system that they were making the game on. It was called the Ebony
system, and now they're porting that over to the Luminous engine. So, because lots of people were like saying like, oh, but in the E3 trailer last year, you could do such and such. There was like techniques and skills and all this, that, and the other, and then they were like saying, oh, you can jump. So all those things are still in. The only things that have changed is they said in the E3 trailer, or they had some like dialogue that suggested you could change characters, so you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Everything else is still there.
So I mean, on one of the trailers, they actually showed you the Luminous engine. They actually show you how they make the worlds.
Yeah.
And it's really in depth. I mean, it looked. I mean, I'm gonna say that it looked a bit like a stage builder of like Smash Bros. You did just kind of make
from the ground up, like
from the ground up, like you make the grass, and even showed you like the weather system.
It's like Throg.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to play this game, and I just don't want people to be like, oh, because it's not, Final Fantasy X or Final Fantasy VII, it's not any good.
No.
I kind of felt that a lot of people just kind of said that about 13 without even giving it a chance.
Yeah.
But that's a different topic.
Yeah, and that is really.
Other things to mention, like a side note, was that if you don't get enough sleep in the game, that you can actually suffer, like you won't do as much damage in fights.
World driven. I mean, so it truly will be the most realistic.
Yeah, we're going into that. The realism mixed with fantasy, like this is like, because they've got like petrol stations, gas stations.
They show you that. They show you them driving past one.
Like so, you got a gas station on the other side of it. You got dinosaurs.
Yeah, because they kind of went past like a swamp kind of area, and they had these kind of scaly, kind of pig-nosed dinosaur type things. And
it just looks so incredible.
And also, I mean, you could just run past them. I mean, there was. I mean, it wasn't even as if you had to go fight them.
What game?
Xenoblade.
And what other game? I was going to say that's what game I see as a resemblance is Xenoblade. What game are you saying?
And I see Dragon's Dogma. I do see a bit of resemblance to that.
Yeah, I think you've got the combat of Dragon's Dogma in the sense that you've got. You press your buttons and it's kind of like, as Sam was saying, it doesn't like go like, oh, there's a fight now, and then it has like a fade in. It's just fighting there and then.
So, I mean, one point I did notice was that obviously you're running around as a party and being Noctis. Noctis seems to run quicker than everybody else. I noticed.
Well, he's got parkour attacks, so so he does like free running.
Yeah, so he can jump off trees. I imagine trees if you're alright in the world or
he's got
whatever.
that thing where he fires his sword.
Teleport, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
But as much as was running along, his team were behind him, and I actually noticed that their health bars were actually being taken down as the creatures that were trying to attack you obviously weren't going for you, they were going for your team instead.
Well, that's different, isn't it? Because in, I think, 13, when you were progressing through the main storyline, I think the characters were behind you, like you could see them.
Yeah.
But the second you actually kind of did that, or like say on the the Massive Expanse,
yeah,
you only saw your character, didn't you?
Yes, it was only you.
Yeah. Whereas in this one, it's obviously got the power, or whatever. It's actually
and you will have to work. I mean, if you are going too close against a large creature that might kill you rather easily, you've got to be careful that your team aren't annoying enough that the creature will start to attack them. I mean, you have to think completely about the world in a 3D environment. Yes. Instead of seeing one creature and think, if I go and touch that, I'll then see fight pop up, and then we'll have our turn-based, RPG.
And going on to that, when you see creatures, they were saying that in a similar kind of way to Lightning Returns, where you had to equip certain weapons that would be better against certain monsters.
Yes.
He was saying it is quite important to have an idea of, before you go and fight them, or what weapons would be best for this, because there might be some weapons that do more damage, but they don't allow you to do as many chain combos or something.
Yeah.
Or it might make it harder to parry, or
Again, yes. I mean, as Edna was saying, it will have quite a low entry level, I think, to enjoy the game, especially with a shortish campaign.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing to be good at the game, you could be you'll be a pro by the end.
Well, I think they said if you just want to do the main storyline, 40 hours, level your character a bit, get decent weapons,
and just enjoy yourself. But
they said those dinosaurs that we're going on about. He was saying they're the second kind of hardest one. It's the adamantite.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So they gave away that you can fight that because he said it's not as hard as adamantite.
So you know.
Did you see the size of that thing?
Yeah, that thing was massive. I mean, saying that, the dragon, the last creature in 13 in a Lightning Returns. I mean, that thing is pretty huge.
Pretty huge, but that makes these look
tiny.
Wow. 15 to me looks like it's shaping up to be an amazing Final Fantasy.
It will be.
And I want to play it. I want to see what collector's editions are going to have in store. What
yes. Yeah.
Like a crystal replica, or I don't know. What could it be?
Noxus's whip.
Yeah, so that was kind of. I mean, even though we've mentioned quite a lot, I think we've been, trying to skip over some things because there's so many aspects to it. Like I was saying, the combat that you've got skills, you've got attacks, you've got blocks, you've got evades, you've got parries.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, well, that's been what we know so far.
So far.
And hope you enjoyed it, and see you again soon.
Bye bye.